try to convince you that dating multiple men before you get in a relationship is being a... No, that's being a prize. Prizes are to be won. What prize is given to the only person running the race? A participation trophy. So my question is, are you a prize or a participation trophy?
And I can't believe he just said that. I hope no one listens. By his own logic, from his advice, you take the value out of the prize at that point. Because like, you might be dating one man. That don't mean you got to be having sex with him. Although you may. It's not a physical it's not a functional requirement, right? You could do it with the one person you're dating. You could do it with each person you're dating. You cannot do it with the one person you're dating. You cannot do it with however many people you're dating. None of that has anything to do with a prize, though. You don't become a prize at any point in this scenario. Like, but that has nothing to do with you not that's not the same as saying you don't have any value. But this mindset that the mindset that he's prescribing is placing value on something and taking value away from something else. The mindset that he's describing, like the other things that must be true to fall in order for what he's saying to actually happen. It has other requirements, right? This is not advice that guides you towards what he's saying he's leading you to.
Okay, so right here, he's trying to put in the woman's mind that they are the prize. Well, you're the prize. So, the man has to get on your program because you're the prize. So don't stop behaving how you were behaving. Continue to be the same girl until he gets on one knee and marries you. Until he actually commits to you and give you a serious relationship, don't change any of your behavior. That's very, 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 very dumb. That's the dumbest advice that you can ever give to a woman because it just doesn't work like that. Especially when you're dealing with a man that most women want, right? The men that actually has options, the masculine men, the men that has a backbone. So when you're dealing with a man like that, no, baby girl. And those are the men that most women want. No, you actually have to acquiesce your behaviors and get on his program. If not, you're not getting no relationship at all. It just doesn't work. This type of advice that he's given leads women astray. So look.
What he's saying right now is a functional attribute of the current system we have adopted and agreed to operate by: dating. You have the option to negotiate a different agreement with whoever you're dating.
Let's break it down real quick. He told women to date them all, sis. So this is void of having any discernment. Go ahead and date them all and figure it out instead of having discernment. So how can a woman have some discernment without a father figure or a brother or a man around? Well, one of them is to discern to have.
For one, there's no need that a woman has for Man, you would have to actually define need. What is a requirement? And you say need, but you mean need for life, need for mating? Like when you put a indicator, a deciding factor on the word need, what happens on the other end of it changes. Like, and I'm saying need, but like, how do you address it? Like, what is the relationship between men, and what's the value and the value system that you would gauge the relationship between men and women by? What matters and how, right? How do we say what's important? We really don't have a good way to say, an agreed upon way of saying what's important and what's not. Like, we both have different priorities as men and women, and we generally don't agree on what's important because of our different perspectives. So we gotta find a middle line. Like, a lot of things that men say this is what they value women by is inadequate, because from the perspective of a woman, what they have is what they need. And as a man, you don't have a need for a woman to survive. But there's another intrinsic need for a woman because of other attributes of your manhood. Do have a requirement for that. Will be unfulfilled without it, which in turn affects your quality of life. And this goes for men and women. That's just true. It's gonna affect you if you don't have a good relationship with men, if you don't have a good relationship with women, if you can't be in a relationship with them that is necessary for your inner alignment. It's going to affect you, period. I don't care what anybody says about what you can or cannot do. Yeah, but it's going to affect you a lot.
Have good judgment. You want to do this. So here's the advice that I would give to a woman. Well, if you want to see if you're making the right choice in a man, first, you must be the best version of yourself, because all human beings tend to project and we tend to accept what we are. So if you haven't overcame it.
That was a deep cut right there. But what I'm gonna go into it a little deeper because he's just mentioned it and spun off. But basically, to his point, inner alignment, align yourself internally, and then basically don't want to find somebody that's going to help you fix yourself. Understand that you're not going to somebody being there, somebody not being there. In regards to you developing yourself, that shouldn't have anything to do with it. You should be developing and growing and maturing on your own, regardless of whether another person is there or not. It shouldn't be based off of that. When you do that, then you're giving the other person power. You're giving the other person sovereignty over you. You're relying on them for your own development, and you're gonna put pressure on that person. You're going to put obligations on that person. You're going to put ideas and ideals on that person that they don't have to subscribe to, and it's not fair for you to place on them, because you're only doing it because you've put an obligation on them to do something that you should do.